The Black Summer fires started in winter 2019 and continued to burn into autumn 2020. Thousands of people had to evacuate, including tourists on their summer beach holiday. Over 17 million hectares of land was burnt, 3,094 homes were destroyed, and tragically, 33 lives were lost. CFA member Bianca is a wheelchair user who actively volunteers with the Lakes Entrance Fire Brigade. She reflects on her experience of the Black Summer fires.
I thought I was prepared. I thought I had everything ready, set, go. But in hindsight, I could have done a lot better. I am a wheelchair user and a person with a disability. So there were a lot of things that I actually hadn't considered, that once we'd evacuated, you have those moments that, oh, I needed that, oh, I needed that. So not as prepared as what I would have liked to have been. In Lakes Entrance, it was holiday season. So it was like any other holiday season. We knew the fires were going, but they were still a long way away, and we hadn't really considered, we're in town, right? So we hadn't considered that we would be under threat at all. I think you get this false sense of safety when you're in a town. And I think we really had that even right up until the last few moments. The weather wasn't hugely concerning, to be honest. Not for people that were just out in community. We just knew that there was this fire, the weather was okay, there was lots of smoke, and then the wind sort of picked up and away it went.
As the fire approached, many residents in Bianca's street evacuated and headed towards Bensdale.
Generally people were going. I think there were a couple that stayed, not a lot. A lot of the people that live in this street work in emergency services on some level. I think for this street, a lot of people left. I know that it wasn't the same everywhere, but for here, and yeah, we're suburban, you know, we're not supposed to get bushfires in suburbia, and we very nearly did.
Many Victorian residents live in regional centres, suburbs or towns. But could a bushfire happen where you live? After deciding to leave, not everything went to plan.
We decided the night before that we were going to be leaving at 8 o'clock the following morning. I had to contend with 4 kids that were coming. One was on their Ps and didn't have their licence for very long, so I was a bit of a nervous driver, and there was a lot of traffic on the road getting out. They were concerned. They had their dad had passed away in 2012, and so they were really concerned about some of the things that he'd left, because it was really all they had of him. You know, having those conversations with your kids to say, pack absolutely what you need, but don't pack anything that you can replace, because we might be coming home to nothing. That's a tough conversation to have with a child of any age. We had 3 cars, so we packed up photos and memorabilia and anything that we didn't want to lose, really. Packed it up in the car. My husband and I have got 5 children between us. So we had all the kids except for one. We had one that wanted to stay behind. And my 90-year-old grandmother lived in Lucknow in Bensdale, and she was on the Great Alpine Road. So they were obviously under threat, and we wanted to make sure she was safe. So we picked her up on the way and headed down the line, and we got her into some respite care in Maffra, which was fabulous. They were wonderful. And then we ended up in Traralgon, because all of the evacuation centres were either full or not accessible for someone in a wheelchair.
Bianca held concerns for members in her community who lived with mobility challenges.
There's a lot of people that need a lot of assistance, and I am a wheelchair user, but I still am able to get around okay. So for those that can't, it was a bit of a worry. The evacuation centres were just not accessible. There were stairs, there wasn't adequate bathrooms, the bedding was on the floor. It's very difficult for me to get on and off the floor. Look, I do know they did the best that they can, but I hope there were a lot of learnings from it too. I didn't think for a second that the fires came anywhere near us until we got back. And we had lots of burnt leaves in the yard, remembering we're in a town, and one of the main towns in East Gippsland. Lots of ash, and our neighbours across the road had an ember that had got into their wood pile. Luckily it had got out, but we were really close. I kept one of the leaves that had burnt and come into the backyard just as a reminder of what we went through. But really close, a little bit too close actually.
Since the fires, Bianca has made changes to her bushfire plan.
What I do different, I'd leave earlier. Even though I feel like we had plenty of time, it was very rushed. It still felt very rushed. As tough as it would be, I would probably stay away longer. I did forget some assistive technologies. A shower chair, for instance. I've since bought a portable shower chair. That was one of my learnings.
Are you prepared? If you need to evacuate, what assistive technology or equipment would you need to take with you?
I'd definitely really consider what I would take. We keep a lot of our mementos in boxes now ready to go. So I don't keep them in the cupboard anymore like we used to. They're in the garage and ready to go if we need to.